Ohio State is good. Really good. And here's why. If you were to be asked the question, why did their team last year come just short of making it to the college football playoff? Why did their team lose to Oregon? Why did they lose to Michigan? Why did they not make it to the Big Ten championship game? If I were to ask you that question, your answer, as well as mine, is going to be because of their defense, right? We knew it was not their offense's problem. We knew it was not their offense's fault. They had C.J. Stroud at quarterback last year. Yes, he was a freshman, but he was a Heisman contender. They had two guys in the wide receiver core who were top 10 draft picks. We knew it wasn't their offense. It was their defense. That was the reason for their shortcomings last year. Well, things are a little bit changed this year. If you look at the BCS era of college football, if you look at just this sample size from then to now, there have only been two teams in the NCAA that have won the national championship with not a top 25 defense. Those two teams were the 2019 LSU Tigers with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, a whole cast full of unreal offensive talent. They won it without a top 25 defense. And then the Auburn Tigers with Cam Newton won it without a top 25 defense. Only two teams. Last year, Ohio State's defense was ranked 59th. Middle of the pack if you look at all of FBS. Lower to the back end if you look at Power 5. But this year, they're ranked 10th. Now, I know it's only through 5 games, and I know they haven't played the most incredible talent yet, but they've only given up 263 yards a game in their 5 games that they've played. That, no matter who it is against, is impressive. So that's something to keep your eye on about the Buckeyes. That is something that they're not falling short of this year. Number 10 in the country, their defense right now. The other side of the ball, number 3 in the country. That's their offense. Their offense, like everybody expected, is clicking this year. Nobody's surprised by that. Even though they lost Garrett Wilson, who had over 1,000 yards receiving last year, number 10 pick of the draft. Chris Olave, over 900 yards receiving last year, number 8 pick in the draft. They lost those two guys, but Emeka Egbuka, Marvin Harrison Jr. stepping right up. Egbuka has 500 yards receiving this year. He's in the top 10. Marvin Harrison Jr. has 400 yards receiving this year. That's the thing about Ohio State, is they reload the clip. Every single year on offense, they reload the clip, and it's no different. Travion Henderson's returning in the running back position. Last year, he rushed for over 1,200 yards. This year, he got sidelined after the Toledo game. He had a tweaked ankle, so it's time to see what Mayan Williams would do, the second string. Let's see what he does against Rutgers. Well, he rushes for over 180 yards and 5 touchdowns on 20 carries. He had 9 yards of carry, and again, 5 touchdowns. He's rushed for over 450 yards this year with 8 total touchdowns this year. And Travion's going to come back anytime now. He was a game-time decision for this last Rutgers game, and they decided to sit him. But you can expect the next couple weeks Travion's going to come right back, and they will have a registered two-headed monster at running back. And, of course, how can we forget the guy leading them all, C.J. Stroud. He was a Heisman contender last year. He's now the Heisman favorite this year. He's thrown for over 1,200 yards and 18 touchdown passes while only turning the ball over twice. Now, it's hard to say that the number 3 team in the country is overlooked. I know it's ridiculous to say that a team has a top 10 defense and a top 3 offense is an overlooked team. But I think they might be overlooked. I think with their offense, that firepower, combined with how much improved their defense is, with how good their defense is this year, man, I think Ohio State is a team to watch out for. The only other team in the country that has both sides of the ball in the top 10 is Alabama. They actually have both sides of the ball in the top 5, offense and defense ranking at number 4. But I think with the quarterback they have, the receivers that they have, without even Jackson Smith and Jigba, their best receiver on offense, he had a hamstring injury in the first game against Notre Dame, has tweaked it a little bit in practices throughout this season. He hasn't even played really this entire year. and their receiving core is still 2 guys over 900 yards combined. And the two-headed monster they have at running back combined with a competent, if not great, defense this year. I think that there's no reason that Ohio State can't be anything short of incredible this year.